Hey, so all right. Okay, so we have the first question. What could you explain principle again? I don't understand how it works. Yeah, so principle is like your identity. So I have DFX. So DFX is this tool again that I'm using, and with DFX you have the concept of a principle, which is kind of like your identity. So this is like a set of characters and like letters and numbers, and this corresponds to my identity. So every time I send a message or something that I need to prove my identity, I will sign it, and people can verify that this is my identity. So this is also the case when you log in with internet identity. So you have a specific principle when you log in, and essentially, essentially, this is what you would use in Motoko. So in the Motoko playgrounds, let's go here. Wait, what is it? Ah, let me remove this. Okay, I will keep it like this. So this concept of principle is something you can use from the Motoko side to see the identity of the person using your canister. So this is useful when you have users, you want to register them based on their identity, or you want to, this is like a kind of identifier. Most of the website today, they use like email address and passwords, but on the internet computer, you would use principle as kind of identifying your users. And so, for example, this function that I've created, so it's a very simple canister, and this function returns the principle of the caller. So when you call a method, you're the caller of the method, of course, and you have a principal. And here I'm just returning it directly, so I can see kind of what is my principal. And so you can see that here we are not login, so we are kind of anonymous principal. And this is the value that all of you will return. If you try the same thing, you will see the same value. Now, this is not very interesting because we are not login, but if I use my identity, so this one, so I will call this canister from my DFX environment. So I need this ID, and I will call the method who am I. You will see that I will get back my principal. Yeah, so I have my principal getting back. What this means is that you can use this information to get the caller and do identified call. So okay, let me show you, for example, one use case. And yeah, usually we use it like this. So we do caller like this. That's what I've shown you from the beginning, how to use it. But you can also do just message and then message.caller. This is exactly the same because actually the caller is on the message. So when you send a message to the internet computer, you sign this message and you have the value caller that is inside of it. But yeah, feel free to also use this syntax. And so one use case for that would be to, for example, use the hash map. And we want to store like note store. So we want to store notes. Let's store would be a hash map dot hash map, which would link principal and text together. So what that means is that we are storing notes for all of our users. The idea is that I can store a note, you can store a note, someone else can store a note, so like a piece of text, but only myself can access my notes and only yourself can access your notes. So how you would do that, you would need to use the concept of principal to do authenticated calls. So that's how you define a hash map. Principal dot equal, I believe, and principal dot hash. Yeah. And now I could do public shared caller function add notes. So I would take the text as an argument, and I would I would directly add the note. So what I would do would be store dot, and I need to store the put caller and the notes. And then public query, public shared query gets notes. And I will send a message, which is going to be switch caller, switch store.get caller. And then if there is something in the store, so I can find a note for this caller, I will, so let's say, if there is, okay, if there is no notes, let's say I return, there is no notes for this identity. If there is a note, I will return the notes. Okay, let's deploy that. This is my personal diary. So here I have, again, this anonymous identity. So I should get back my own nodes. But if I try to call this function from here, so the same canister ID, I believe, yes, and get nodes, you will see that I don't have a node for this identity because I'm calling this function with another identity. So what's happening here is that when I'm here from this interface, the caller is this anonymous identity. So it look in the store, is there a node associated with this principal? And yes, there is one. This is the one I've created like a few minutes ago, this one. And it returns my node here. When I call from here, it checked the same, but this time with this principal. So with this identity, is there a node associated with this principal? And no, there is not because I haven't created one. But now if I create one, so like I do, it's add node, yeah. I'm creating a node for this new identity. And there is a problem because I have, yeah, I need to remove that. And now I can get my nodes for my identity. Oops. Get nodes. And you see I get this node for this identity. But once again, if I go here, I have still my nodes for the other identity. And even from defx, I can defx identity list. So I can see all the identity that I have. I can even create a new one. So I did defx identity new. I will call it asini, and I need to create this. So this is not secure because my seed phrase is exposed, but I just want to use this identity for the purpose of this demo. So defx identity, who am I, is going to show you which identity. So right now I'm using my normal identity, but I can use my new one. And here, if you see, the principle that I have is going to be different. This is a new one. It's very different from the one that I had here because I've changed to a new identity. And if I do that, you will see that I don't have a node yet for this identity. Okay, so principle is kind of fundamental concept of identity. And you need this concept to essentially create applications where you want to do and store things and update things based on the user that is calling. Otherwise, you can only create like we wouldn't be able to create nodes for each users. We would only be able to create nodes for all users. So that wouldn't be so interesting. I hope that clears up the concepts. Okay, do we have next question? Yeah. So are you able to share your screen?
Hi, Seb.
Hey, how are you?
I am sharing now. Let me.
Okay.
Well, that is the code, and I have the canister. I have the label. I submit, and
You have you have an issues with the Okay,
but I have no feedback.
You don't see anything. Okay, can you open your terminal? The console inspect, and then you can, okay, so canister trapped. This is what I was talking about this morning. You probably have an error with the types. So can we go back to your code, the get members, all of this? I would really take a look at the syntax, like the return types of all your function. Make sure it's similar to what we have on the repository. So let's see. Actually, you know that you can do save and share. So you can click in the top of the screen, and you can actually share your screen, your code with me. Yeah, I can access it and I can take a look from my side.
This is the HTTP?
Yeah, it's the link. So if you can send it in the chat, I will be able to go and see.
Okay.
And okay, so I'm taking a look right now. I'll try to see what's the problem with the types and so on. Okay, so add member, you have the correct type. Update member as well, I believe. Oh no, wait. I can see already that you have for add member, you already have an issue with the type, because you are the parameter of the function that you have, like add member, is name and age, but you should have a member. So it's different to have an object with two fields than to have two parameters. Like essentially you should replace name and age by member of type member. No, not in your type. Your type is correct. So this is correct. What is not correct is the line 18. You have the parameters name and age. This shouldn't be name and age. It should be member. If you take a look at the code, like I can show you I can show you. So
but when I do the Candid UI, it works.
No, I do believe it's working. The problem is that you need to respect the types that I've specified in the interface. Otherwise, I cannot test your canister. So it's more of an issue coming from the dashboard. But essentially, add member should take a member as a parameter, and you are taking age and text. Even though a member, I agree, is an age and a name, but it's not the same to have like a member or to have two parameters.
Okay.
And maybe you have also other, like I haven't checked the remove member, get all members, and number of members. I haven't checked those one, but I would also make sure that you follow the interface.
Okay. Thank you.
And that should that should solve your issue.
Thank you.
Oh. Jack, do you want some support as well? You're getting the same error? Okay. And we have another question. No other question? I give you 2 more minutes and then I'll close the session. All right. Good. So yeah, good luck everyone. I'll push some updates on the dashboard this afternoon. So you should see a new interface pretty soon. And if you have any question, again, on Discord, I see everyone tomorrow. Bye.